What is knowledge, and how do we come to know what we know? Welcome, curious minds, to the intriguing world of epistemology, a cornerstone of philosophical inquiry. As the study of knowledge itself, epistemology grapples with some of the most profound questions that have fascinated humanity across the ages. It seeks to understand not only what knowledge is, but also how we form beliefs and how we justify them. From the ancient Greeks to the modern thinkers, philosophers have delved into this fascinating field, seeking to unravel the complex web of our understanding. The journey of epistemology is like a voyage through the human mind, exploring the nature, origin, and limits of our knowledge. It's a journey that constantly challenges our assumptions and invites us to question our perceptions. So buckle up as we embark on a journey into the captivating realm of epistemology. Understanding epistemology paves the way to unravel the mysteries of human knowledge. Knowledge did not just appear out of thin air, it has roots. As we delve into the Genesis of Epistemology, we find ourselves journeying back to the times of ancient Greece. It was here that early philosophers like Plato and Aristotle began to ponder the nature of knowledge. Plato, a proponent of rationalism, believed that knowledge was innate, that we were born with certain truths imprinted on our souls. His student Aristotle, however, had a different take. He leaned towards empiricism, arguing that knowledge comes from experience and observation of the world around us. These two perspectives set the stage for centuries of philosophical debate. The questions they posed, what is knowledge, how do we acquire it, and how do we verify its truth, are the very foundation of epistemology. Their insights sparked a quest for understanding that continues to this day, influencing thinkers from all corners of the globe. These early thoughts laid the groundwork for the rich field of epistemology. Empiricism or rationalism, how do you perceive the world? This question teases the crux of epistemological debates that have intrigued philosophers for centuries. Let's start with empiricism. It's an approach that champions sensory experience as the primary source of knowledge. Think about it. When you touch a hot stove and recoil, your sensory experience has taught you that the stove is hot. Empiricists argue that all our knowledge comes from such experiences, with nothing pre-existing in the mind. The world, to an empiricist, is a blank canvas, and experiences are the brushstrokes that paint our understanding. On the other side of the spectrum, we find rationalism. This perspective sings the praises of reason as the foremost source of knowledge. Rationalists believe that some knowledge is innate, existing within us without the need for sensory experience. Consider mathematical truths like 2 + 2 = 4. You didn't learn this through sensory experience, but through reasoning. Rationalists argue that such truths are self-evident and universal, standing firm regardless of individual experiences. But wait, what about those who question the very possibility of certain knowledge? Enter skepticism, the third player in this philosophical drama. Skeptics challenge the assumptions of both empiricists and rationalists, doubting the possibility of absolute knowledge. They argue that our senses can deceive us and reason can lead us astray. Picture a mirage in the desert. It looks real, but it's an illusion. Similarly, logical reasoning can sometimes lead to paradoxes and inconsistencies. Skeptics use these examples to question the certainty of our knowledge. So, where does this leave us? Empiricism, rationalism, and skepticism offer distinct yet intertwined paths to understanding the world. Each approach sheds light on the complex nature of knowledge and how we come to know what we think we know. It's a fascinating tug-of-war between senses, reason, and doubt. And this tug-of-war is at the heart of epistemology, driving us to probe deeper into the mysteries of knowledge itself. What is truth, and how does perception shape our knowledge? As we delve into the realm of truth, we encounter a multitude of theories. Some philosophers advocate for the correspondence theory of truth, proposing that truth is a match between our beliefs and reality. If what we believe corresponds with what is, then it is true. On the other hand, the coherence theory of truth suggests that truth is about consistency. Here, a belief is true if it aligns with a coherent system of other beliefs. This theory emphasizes the interconnectedness of our knowledge, where each piece bolsters the others like a well-constructed puzzle. Then we have the pragmatic theory of truth, which argues that truth is what works. If a belief leads to successful action, it is true. This theory underscores the utility of beliefs and how they guide our actions in the world. Let's now shift our focus to perception. Perception, like truth, is a complex phenomenon. Direct realism posits that our sensory experiences provide us with direct awareness of the external world. We see, hear, and touch things as they truly are. However, representationalism counters this by arguing that we never perceive the world directly. Instead, we perceive representations or images of the world created by our minds. Our senses provide the raw data, but it's our brain that interprets this data, constructing our reality. Language also plays a crucial role in shaping our knowledge and perceptions. As the medium through which we express and share our thoughts, language can shape our understanding of reality. The Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, for instance, proposes that the language we speak influences our cognition and perception. So, we see that the quest for truth is multifaceted, with different theories offering diverse perspectives. Perception, too, is not a straightforward process, but a complex interplay between our senses and mind. And language, the tool we use to navigate this complex world, has the power to shape our reality. Truth, perception, and language, these elements intertwine to create our understanding of the world. Knowledge does not exist in a vacuum. It's shaped by society and culture. It's a fascinating concept, isn't it? The idea that our understanding of the world is not merely a product of our individual minds, but is also deeply influenced by the social context we live in. This is what we call social epistemology, the study of how social interactions and societal structures shape our knowledge and beliefs. Let's delve a bit deeper. Consider the knowledge we gain from books, the internet, or conversations. These sources are not neutral, but rather they are imbued with the values, assumptions, and biases of the societies they originate from. Therefore, our knowledge is not an independent entity, but rather a reflection of our social surroundings. Now, let's take a step further with the concept of epistemological relativism. This idea suggests that what we consider as knowledge is relative, varying from culture to culture, or even from one individual to another. There is no absolute truth, only perspectives shaped by our unique contexts. It's a contentious idea, but it does make us question the universality of our assumptions and beliefs. From here, let's introduce feminist epistemology. This approach argues that traditional methods of acquiring knowledge often overlook or marginalize the experiences and perspectives of women. It urges us to consider gender as a critical factor in how knowledge is constructed and valued. It's a fascinating lens that adds depth to our understanding of knowledge, showing us just how multifaceted it can be. Lastly, we must not forget the role of ethics in shaping our knowledge. Ethical considerations guide what we choose to learn, how we interpret information, and how we apply our knowledge. They add a layer of complexity to our understanding, reminding us that knowledge is not merely a factual entity, but also a moral one. The society we inhabit, the ethics we uphold, all these influence our knowledge. So the next time you learn something new, take a moment to reflect on the intricate web of influences that have shaped that piece of knowledge. It truly is a fascinating journey. The field of epistemology is not static. It's dynamic and evolving. As we dive into the contemporary epistemological landscape, we find ourselves in the midst of vibrant discussions and groundbreaking research. Today, one of the most prominent trends is the growing interest in social epistemology. In an increasingly interconnected world, scholars are examining how our social environment influences our knowledge. They question how our communities, cultures, and even our digital interactions shape our understanding of the world. This shift has led to fascinating discussions about the role of collective knowledge, the influence of social media, and the impact of cultural diversity on epistemology. Meanwhile, other epistemologists are exploring the intersection of epistemology and ethics. They're asking how our moral values influence our knowledge and beliefs. This emerging field, known as value theory, is sparking debates about the role of personal values in scientific research, the ethical implications of belief, and the moral responsibilities of knowledge seekers. Yet, despite these exciting developments, the field of epistemology is facing significant challenges. One of the most pressing is the problem of skepticism. Despite centuries of philosophical inquiry, we still haven't found a definitive answer to the skeptic's challenge. Can we ever truly know anything? This question continues to provoke intense debate among scholars, with some arguing for radical skepticism, others advocating for moderate skepticism, and still others rejecting skepticism altogether. Another major challenge is the clash between relativism and absolutism. While some argue that knowledge is always relative to a particular perspective, others maintain that it's possible to have absolute universal knowledge. This debate is far from resolved, and it continues to shape the evolution of epistemology. Lastly, let's not forget the ongoing discussions about the nature of belief and justification. With new theories constantly emerging, we're still trying to pin down the precise relationship between belief, evidence, and knowledge. The quest for understanding knowledge continues as we keep questioning, exploring, and learning. As we move forward, we can expect the landscape of epistemology to keep changing and growing, driven by our insatiable curiosity and our relentless pursuit of truth.